longest we've gone since we started the channel. I apologize. We had some family coming to town. They were scheduled to come into town, but they got into town about 3 days earlier than expected. So I was going to shoot a couple videos to post throughout the week on the day that they arrived. So I wasn't able to do that. I hope you all can forgive me. But today we have something pretty exciting, for me anyway, and for you outdoorsmen and you guys who are into blades and stuff like that. You guys and gals, I should say. I think this might tickle your fancy. So, what we're going to be doing is my fixed blade collection. Now, just a reminder, this is like a budget friendly, so you're not going to see any like big high-end knives in this collection. I usually try to be pretty reasonable when I'm buying my tools and my knives and my, everything associated with my outdoorsmanship and hunting and stuff. I've shown you guys my pocket knife collection. This is now the fixed blades. And for those of you who aren't familiar with like blades in general, I think it's kind of self-explanatory, but just so you know, a folder or a pocket knife bends and closes, and you can close the blade. A fixed blade is just solid steel and a handle. But we'll get into it more here. I'm gonna cut the camera and lay everything out and get a better camera angle, and then we'll get right into it. Alright, bear with me. And we're back. We are back. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 fixed blade knives that I would like to show you from my collection, if that's something you might be interested in. As I was just kind of describing, I went ahead and got a folder. So for those of you who aren't familiar with knives and blades, this is a pocket knife or a folding knife, right? Locks into place. If you haven't, go back and check out my pocket knife collection reveal. A lot of you seem to enjoy that video, and thank you to those of you who commented and liked it and subscribed from that video. Pocket knife. Now what we have tonight are fixed blades. So I'll show you with this little Mora knife. So as you can see, it's a fixed handle. This thing cannot fold down into itself. It is fixed in place, and typically fixed blade knives have a sheath with them that houses the knife or the blade so that you are unable to cut yourself, so that you can transport it, so that you can carry it safely. But let's go ahead and get started going through the knives themselves. I haven't really thought out how I wanted to go through or where I wanted to start. Probably the ones that are the least value, maybe. Maybe I'll just start with ones. Yeah, let's just start with this one. So this is just a little Gerber. I believe it's Gerber. I believe it's from the Bear Grylls collection. That's why it has the orange and black on it. No, it's not. I'm a liar. It's a Camillus. I believe it's just like a Walmart knife. I thought it was a Bear Grylls that I got at Walmart, but this is just a Camillus knife. Pretty cheap. I would imagine this thing probably wasn't over $10. I don't even think I bought this, honestly. That's kind of why I'm starting with this one. It doesn't have a lot of sentimental value. It's not like super expensive or anything like that. It's just a silly little, I usually use it for like a box opener. A little box opener, and it's got a little safety whistle on the end. So there's that one. And it's a, full metal blade and full metal tang. And there is really no grip to it. They just probably thinking, oh man, that's like the most unique one on the table. It is, and it does have a semi-neat story. You know, the background of it is semi-neat. Got this knife in Abu Dhabi. At a market over there. Now, the reason that this probably isn't as like impressive as you think it is they have a ton of markets over there with like little chintzy, not very expensive, not very like good quality items, and that's sort of what this is. I just wanted to buy or purchase a knife over there, and I happened to see this one, and I was like, it's kind of like, it's got that like Middle Eastern feel to it. It's pretty cool. But the reason that I know this isn't like legit is because the guy who was selling it to me was trying to convince me that this was real silver. Which, for the price I got it, I think the price I got it was like maybe $15 US. If I remember right, like it wasn't a lot at all. You just know that if something's selling for that, it's definitely not real silver. Also, you'll notice that it's not tarnishing at all. I've had this knife. I've never cleaned this knife. I've had this for like 3 or 4 years. If this was real silver, it would be tarnishing. He tried to tell me that this is real bone, which that could potentially be the case. But you could just tell the build quality is kind of poor. But it's kind of cool, kind of a cool story for me. I got it in Abu Dhabi at a Middle Eastern market. Look at the grind on that. They just kind of grind it to make it look like a blade, like it's not actually like sharpened properly or anything. Like it's really not even sharp at all. And then they just put like felt, I guess, in here in this sheath. So yeah, I mean, this thing, if I lost it tomorrow, I wouldn't be heartbroken. But it's cool. It's neat. Don't think I'm unthankful for having it. I'm not. I bought it intentionally, right? I like to buy stuff like that in the places that I go, like in different countries and stuff, whether it's a knife or a watch or a ring or a bracelet or some sort of trinket that I can remember the place by. So that was one of the things that we got over there. So we went over these two. Just FYI, this is not my entire collection. I have a lot that I have misplaced. And when I say that, they're probably somewhere intentionally that I can't remember. So like emergency bags in cars, hiking bags. I know I have some back at my parents' home up north, and we don't go visit that often just because it's so far away, and the family, it's a lot of effort to get our family up there to their house, so mostly they come down here and visit us. We don't go up there and visit them. I know I have fixed blades up there as well, including one of them I can remember that's kind of cool that's not in here is a K-bar, from World War II, I think. It's either World War II or Vietnam, that I got from an old man that I used to know. It was just in his garage, just kind of rotting away. It's not in very good condition. It's not a very clean one. But yeah, that's one of the cool ones I can remember that's not here. I know I have a few more. Well, let's just get into it. I've got, these Mora knives. I love these Mora knives. So these Mora knives, I want to say these are like the 910, something like that. These are only like $10 to $20. And they are super durable. They are a great like camping knife, hunting knife. You can carry it like in your tackle box when you're fishing. You could carry it in your car for like survival type thing. If you got a survival bag in your car, they're good for that. The only thing with these is the blades can rust pretty easy. I'm getting some rust on the back of these because they're carbon. they're super high quality build, and super cheap. I love Mora knives. I love them. Hence, there's a couple on the table here that I'll go over, but so here's one, just a green, just a normal green. I probably got this, I got it a while ago, probably for $10, 10, $12. I know they've gone up in price a little bit because of their popularity. So I believe these are partial tang, so they're not a full tang, which gets a lot of scrutiny. I know a lot of hardcore knife guys who like full tang, because when the steel runs all the way down, it obviously makes the blade a little stiffer. I've seen these things through different like EDC channels and outdoors channels and knife channels on YouTube. Guys have tested these, like brutally tested these, like chopping wood and carving and throwing and cutting and doing all sorts of different stuff, and I have rarely ever seen one like break or fail on the channel. Like I said, their biggest downfall is they rust. These ones in particular rust. And like I said, I think they're the Mora knife 910 or something along those lines. If you search Mora knives, this is like their cheaper line. You'll be able to find them pretty easily. Oh, sorry, there it is, basic 511. Basic 511, look at that. I haven't even taken the sticker off the back. How lazy. Now this one is the Mora Light My Fire. Pretty vibrant blue, right? Blue's my favorite color, for those of you who didn't know. So, Mora knives are made in Sweden, as you can see. They're great quality, good retention in the sheath. I've never had a problem with them like failing in the sheath or falling out of the sheath. This is the Light My Fire model. And you're probably wondering, why is the Light My Fire model? Well, if you twist the handle here, you have a ferro rod in the handle, which, let's see if I can throw some sparks. I don't want to set anything up. Oh, jeez. You could, that's really smart, considering I got a wool blanket right here. So yeah, it's got a ferro rod in the handle, which I thought was pretty dang neat. What's that say right there? Swedish fire steel, made in Sweden as well. Swedish fire steel, made in Sweden. So yeah, I don't know if this is a 511 as well, and that's just a Light My Fire model. They're very similar. This one might have been a little more expensive because it does have that feature. I know I have one or two more of these guys floating around somewhere, just because they're so cheap and they're so durable and so reliable. I use them in a lot of my kits and a lot of my hiking backpacks and my hunting backpacks and survival kits, etc. We'll just continue down the path of Mora. So the other Moras that I have on the table are these little, and I actually have the box for this one, so I could tell you what what model this is. This is, yeah, I'm not even gonna see if I can get this to focus up a little bit. Not even gonna try to pronounce that. Schackenbacken 4. I probably butchered that. If you're from Sweden, I apologize. BJAKENBACKEN 4. Oh, get that in the frame. Mora knife Eldris. Okay. It's the Eldris. That's another great thing about these knives. They have a lifetime warranty, which you don't see very often. If they fail, you can send them back in. Excuse me. Let's read this here. Mora knife Eldris is a pocket-sized fixed-blade knife that will amaze you with its versatility. The knife has a precision blade and ground spine compatible with a fire starter. Its compact design and all-around convenience mean you'll never leave the house without it, making your Mora knife a part of you. Stainless steel, 2.3-inch blade length, 5.6 inch total length, 0.08 inch thickness of the blade. It's only 2.8 ounces, super duper light, pocket size, and great for use with fire starter. And I can confirm that I have used this. So the spine, let's get this out of here. They did not round the spine or bevel the spine or anything. It is just straight, flat grind, I guess you'd call it. So it's great for striking a ferrule rod. And the reason I have these is they are just, again, they're super cheap, 10 to 20 bucks. And you can just, they're great little, this one I beat up a little bit. It's got a little rolling of the blade edge. These are just so versatile. I mean, they're great. I know they're not a huge blade, but you can put them in a backpack. You could just throw them in your pocket. Super easy to carry around. They're a great little survival blade. You can do some carving and some splitting, like smaller kindling. They're super duper sharp. I mean, they're awesomely sharp. Now these ones are stainless, so you don't have to worry as much about the rusting as with these carbon ones. Let me open the other one. But I love these little knives. I think they're so cool. I think they're so cool and versatile and just, yeah, here's the other one. I love the color of this one. It's like yellow is not by any means my favorite color, but this is almost like a brownish yellow, I guess. 1891 is when the company was established. Mora knife, made in Mora, Sweden. The Mora Knife Company. Great products. They have great products. They've got a bunch of other knives as well. And I do plan on getting more at some point. So where were we? We touched on this one, and this one. So now we're getting into a little bit more sentimental knives. And we'll start with this one. So this knife, I don't know if it has a brand on it. See if we can get out of the sheet quietly. This knife, you're probably thinking, what the heck, what do you need that thing for? I got this when I was in like high school because me and my buddies were big into camping, and we all wanted to have a cool knife for our camping trips, for doing outdoor stuff at our camping trips. So I bought this off of Bud K, I believe it was, budk.com. I believe they're still around, but they're kind of a budget, very similar to like Harbor Freight maybe, like knife, firearm, outdoorsy type equipment. They've got a lot of like surplus stuff, and I bought this knife because I just thought it was BA. It's like a Rambo knife, right? It's junk though, guys. I mean, it gets a job done. It works as a knife. I mean, this sucks. This leaks, and the gasket's bad now. But anyways, it had a cool little compass in the handle, so that's neat. And then I had like a bandage in here. I had a couple pills in there, which are probably super old. This came with it. This was a match with a striker and a little fishing hook. So this little pill bottle came with it, which, that's pretty cool. It was branded as a survival knife. So like taking it into the woods, it made you feel prepared at least a little bit, even though this is a knife that I never ever use anymore. I mean, it's dull as all crap. I think the tang moves. It's not a full tang knife by any means. Stainless, and you can see China. That's not. I don't recommend that you buy knives from China, y'all. I just don't. If you're gonna do it, get American made or get Swedish. I think the Germans do a really good job at making knives as well. obviously like Swiss Army knives, Switzerland, you know, yeah, go that route. I would not buy a Jinzi China knife, but this has sentimental value because it was one of the first like big boy knives, big boy full blade knives that I ever bought. It's got this sheath. The sheath is junk. It hardly holds in there, but it does have this strap over it, so I just gotta keep the strap on. And again, I just keep this tucked away in a closet somewhere. I don't ever really use it. So yeah, there was that one. I don't even have a name of that one. Who knows if it's even sold anymore. Maybe you can get on Budk and try to find a knife like that. I'm sure there are other knives similar. Okay, this knife, this Buck. Everybody knows Buck. If you're gonna get a knife, I highly recommend Buck as well. Great brand. Great brand. And I believe they're made in the US. This Buck needs a sharpening. This was the first hunting knife that I ever bought. So this has skinned a deer or two, and some other game. I used it as like a field knife, field dressing knife, and when it was really sharp, it worked really well. And it's just a nice knife. I mean, I don't believe this was a very cheap knife. This was like, I think this one was like $100. It's really high quality build. Like really high quality. This is not plastic here. I don't know if that's, I believe it's actual wood. And then I think that might be brass. Because it's greening right here. See how it's greening? I believe it's brass. So this was, yeah, brass and then wood and then high quality 102. I don't know if that's the blade type. The blade steel, I mean. I could not tell you. But anyways, made in America. So it's high quality. I love this knife. It has a lot of nostalgia to me because I used to take it with me when I was younger. Like I said, it was one of the first that I bought, probably from like working summers with my dad. Saved up and bought this thing to go hunting with. Heck, I might have not even been in high school yet, but I've had it for a really long time, and it'll hold the test of time. I mean, this will get passed down to my kids, my boy. The 102 might be the model, because there's a 102. I don't think it's the blade steel, because I don't even know what that reference would be. Okay, I'm gonna save the most sentimental for last, I think. So we're gonna go this one next. This is the Gerber Stronghold. The Gerber Stronghold. Gerber, another great knife company. I highly recommend. They're made in the USA, as you can see right there, Portland, Oregon. Gerber, I think, is pretty well known. This is a great survival knife, and that's exactly what I bought it for. Probably, I don't know, 8 to 10 years ago, I started getting really heavy into survival and like preppy type stuff. I'm not like a full-blown prepper. I'm not like a crazy individual that has a cellar with 10,000 cans of food in there or anything like that. I just like being prepared. So I got a little extra food in the pantry, gotta have tools to be self-sufficient, right? And that was the thought behind this knife. I did a lot of research, and without spending like $300 on a knife, which I was not gonna do, this seemed to be one of the more budget-friendly knives. And I want to say at the time that I bought this, I got it for like 65, maybe 70 maybe. It's been so long, folks. I apologize. You can look it up though. I believe these ones are still for sale. If not, they've got ones that are similar. But it's got kind of a is I believe it is full tang. If it's not full tang, it's at least partial tang. So it's, down in here pretty deep. I watched a lot of torture tests and stress tests of these online before I purchased, up against a lot of other fixed blade knives. It's got the glass breaker on the end. It can also be used as self-defense, right? But I mean, in all honesty, you're probably not going to be using a blade like this for self-defense. However, it could certainly be used that way, right? I bought it for survival, right? Survival kit. If I'm going out into the field, this is most likely what I'd be carrying. If I was going on a multi-day hike, camping, this is most likely what I'd be taking. You can carve, you can chop, you can split, you can baton through a piece of wood with this. It's very sturdy. You can see that's a very thick blade. Definitely at least a quarter of an inch, if not more. And it's got really good grippy. It's got a really good feel in the hand. Really grippy. And this rubbery texture, it doesn't really get slippery. It doesn't really get slick, which I really like. It's got the finger. I can't remember what they're called. It's been a while since I've looked into knives, done a lot of research on knives, but it's got the finger guards, so when you're cutting, your finger doesn't accidentally slide up and slip down the blade, which is nice. It's got the lanyard loop, and then it's got this nice sheath. Now this sheath is just plastic, but the retention of this thing is awesome. It holds the knife really well. And it's got all these belt loops and different loops you can loop it through your belt about 15 different ways if you wanted to, or loop it around a bag. And yeah, and it just looks BA, right? Just looks cool. This one just looks like it belongs on a Navy SEAL. It's just cool. I believe Gerber does have some government contracts, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on that. Let me know down in the comments if you have any information on that, if you know that to be true. But yeah, this one, I don't know if I necessarily call it sentimental. It's just one of my favorites. Just one of the favorites. Probably is my favorite of all these on the table. Well, other than the one that's the most sentimental, which, last but certainly not least, again, this is not all of them. If I find enough of them, if I ever go back up to my parents in the coming months, or looking around the house, if I can find some of the other ones in cars and toolboxes and stuff like that, I'll do another video, a follow-up video of, hey, here's everything. Okay, before we get in to the last, my most sentimental knife, my most sentimental fixed blade knife, that is. If you've enjoyed this video, if you've stuck with me this long, if you've come back to the channel after my hiatus of 7 days, again, I apologize. Go ahead and hit that like button. It helps the channel out so much. I appreciate every single one of you that do that. If you have something you'd like to share, or any comments on what's on the table here, go ahead and drop a comment down below. Love to hear from you guys. Love to have communication with you all. I try to answer every single comment that I get. And then, yeah, if you're new to the channel, if you've never tuned in and you like what you see and you're relaxed at this point, hit that subscribe button before you fall asleep. Or if you come back to the video to finish it out after you've already fell asleep, I think we accomplished the mission. So, please, 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 if you would consider hitting that subscribe button. It always, always, always means the world to me. So, okay, last but not least, is this beautiful, beautiful knife from Bush Lore. Now, I don't know a ton about Bush Lore. What I do know is this is the knife that I got the groomsmen at my wedding. I got the groomsmen well, actually, maybe I had 2 best men, so it may have just been my best men. I should know that. I think I just got it for my 2 best men. Anyways, it's the Bush Lore Condor, and it's made in El Salvador. But it's just a very, in my opinion, beautiful knife. I was looking for a nice bushcraft knife because, again, all 3 of us enjoy camping. We enjoy the outdoors. We enjoy fishing, hunting, hiking. We enjoy, when we're out there, we're working with our hands and we're whittling wood and creating tinder and stuff like that. And yeah, I found this. This had a lot of good reviews online. I want to say they were like $80 maybe a pop. Might have even been a little more. But I got myself one. So all 3 of us, me and my 2 best men, all have matching bushcraft knives for when we do get the chance to go out, back out and camp together again or hike together again or whatever it might be. So yeah, I mean it's a solid knife, full tang. So this is what I mean by full tang. See how it runs the whole length of the blade? That makes it significantly stronger. It would be very, very hard for you to snap this blade, especially with the thickness of it. For you to snap this blade or break off the handle, you might be able to break off the scales. So these are just wooden scales. That could potentially happen, but you would still have a knife here that you could use, even if you're just holding the metal, wrap it in string or tape or something, and then you'd still be able to use it. It would still be functional. So yeah, it came with this, and it came with this nice leather sheath. Just nice single belt loop, just very simple, very clean looking. Like I said, I'm a minimalist. I think I've said it before. I like to think I'm a minimalist type. I got a lot of junk for being a minimalist, but I like the look. I like the minimalist look. I like the dark brown and the light brown, and it's clean, and it's not too big, not too bulky. Fits in a backpack nice, wears on your belt nice. And yeah, it's just sentimental because me and my best buds, my 2 best buds, we've been best friends since grade school. Yeah, we all 3 of us have this. All 3 of us have this. And yeah, it was just a token of my appreciation to them because they've been such good friends for so long. But yeah, that's why that one is probably my favorite knife and my most sentimental. If I had to like put a number to it, let's say my top 3, it's definitely these 3. These 3 right here are by far the most sentimental, and these 2 are the most sentimental. This one I just think is really cool, but these are my 3 favorite by far. These other ones, they're cool and I enjoy them, but really the Moras are like budget friendly. If I lost it, it's not gonna break my heart. If I lost one of these 3, it's gonna break my heart. Especially these 2, because I probably can't purchase these 2 again. I think I could still buy this one, but anyways, besides the point. I hope you liked my first video back, folks. Felt like forever. I hope I don't have to do that again for a while. But yeah, I'm gonna try to get back on starting this week. I'm gonna try to get back on the regular schedule. So I've been doing Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday is when I've been posting. Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Because I'm in the East Coast of the States. So, yeah. I appreciate you all tuning back in. And we will see you next time. Thanks, everybody.